May I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. Woohoo! PulseChain, simply unstoppable. And so we're going to talk about one attribute of that unstoppability, and that is all the projects that are launching. And we're going to cover a good bunch of ones that are launching and coming up in September actually, and beyond. So it's going to be pretty cool. We've got a whole bunch that we're going to talk about and allude to. This is not comprehensive. There are others that I'm not covering. Just because I didn't have time to pull them all together, but there are others out there, and we might just mention a few of them by name as they resurface. So, PulseChain unstoppable, and of course they're launching at the right time, at the right place in the cycle. So, congratulations to them. So we're going to get into all that. So let's say hello to a few people. We've got Sean in the house there. Morning all. Of course, Sean, I hadn't done a moderator for ages, and Sean, of course, is in our Discord. He is now a moderator too. So big welcome to the moderating team there, Sean. Big shout out, and we appreciate all you do. ETH staking, he says, ETH stalking 5K, marketing soon, Liberty swap to Solana, ETH reserves and other wallets. Tom Lee, we are not bullish enough. I'm just here for the tech, he says. That's absolutely true, Sean. And we're going to be talking about the Liberty swap today, of course, with some of the project teasers, as well as the amount of bridging that's happened to Solana over the last a day and a half. So we're going to do an update on that today. So that's going to be really, really cool. We got Frank White in the house. We got Pookie. We got Wookie in the house as well. Wookie the Tourist Slayer. You're going to have to write Unity and Tourist Slayer, ain't you? You're going to have to put both of those now. I think you need to do a name change. Let's see if he can change the name during the live stream. But big welcome to Wookie, another moderator in the house. We've got Frank White in as well. Bang, bang, Pulse Gang. So big shout out there. Actually, Wookie's not just a moderator, he's actually community leader of the whole Discord. So a big shout out to Wookie. We got Frank White in there, Bang Bang Pulse Gang. And of course, he's doing he's got a whole map of all the PulseChain projects pretty much. Well, he's certainly collecting the bulk of them. It's pretty amazing. And a lot of people are using that. So big shout out there, Frank White. And thanks for posting the projects there. I actually might pull that up during the show. In fact, let me do that now, so we can talk about it later on. I'll just leave it at the end, though, and that would be the best time. It's always the best time at the end of the show. We'll have the most people watching at that time, so you get the best viewership there. We got, obviously, share the show on X. It only takes a second to share the show. As you guys know, just smash that repost button on X. Really helps a lot. You can do it on YouTube as well. We are streaming to 3 YouTube channels, so the more sharing, the better people hear about PulseChain. We got Hedgehog in the house as well. Woo! Good to see you, Hedgehog. Big shout out. Welcome to the chat there. And of course, we've got Brian as well, one of our moderators. Sup, folks? Good to see you, Brian. Hope you are doing well. And of course, New York, the city of dreams. He says, yeah. Or at least the state, the US, the North Korea state. Brian's in North Korea. I don't know what that would be like with Brian in North Korea, but anyway, he'd probably be marching in with a standing army, no doubt, with Brian. I could see that. Liberation, freedom for all. That would be Brian. Be packed with like all these weapons. It'd be amazing. We got Sean in the house. I don't know where that came from, but it just came. Shared and liked, says Sean. I appreciate that. Big shout out, and I appreciate it very much. Brian says it feels like it sometimes. Yeah. We should do some AI movie with little Brian with his army running fully armed into the North Korea. That'd be funny. All right, so let's get into it, shall we? Without further ado, I got to make sure. I think I got the wrong side here for people to start me. So let me pull it up. We're going to talk about that later on. All right, so where else should we go? I think we've done everything here. I think we have. So I think we're ready to go into the commentary. So we'll start straight away and not muck around. So let's get into it. We got the crypto market right now. Should we go full screen? Full screen FOMO. Let's do it. Full screen FOMO. There we go. And we've got the CoinGecko. Frank White says PLS.me. Yeah, so I was I typed in PLS and it came up with PLS charts. You know the other one, Frank, PLS charts. Yeah. Brian says, I would love to see an AI movie of me doing that. What was that? That Kim Jong Il song? I'm so lonely, so lonely. Remember that one off? What was it? Maybe America something. With the American puppets. It was pretty amazing. Apparently, he hated that whole thing. Not surprising. Frank Whitehouse with the old new glasses there. Nice. All right, so let's. I'm so lonely. Anyway, so let's get into it. We got CoinGecko. We got the market cap at 4 trillion and 39 billion, down 1%. We got 18,289 coins on the CoinGecko site. Looking at Bitcoin, we got Bitcoin at 113,000. Let me see if I can just make that slightly bigger. Oh no, that's too big. Apparently, don't like that. We got the coins. We've got Bitcoin there at 113,540. So we are above the kind of that 112,000 support area. We're down 1.6%. Apparently, a big wallet sold something like 28,000 Bitcoin today, and ended up apparently buying Ethereum with it. So you can, I saw that posted. So anyway, Ethereum there, $4,797, down 0.3%. We've got XRP right now down at 0.5% at $3.04. Number 5 is BNB down 0.5% at $878. Solana there up 0.9% at $206.70. Number 9 is Dogecoin there, down 1.8% at 23.3 cents. And number 10, to wrap it all off, is Tron. And of course, a great movie, especially the original, is down 0.3% at 36.2 cents. Those are our top 10, folks. And of course, looking at the best performer overnight is Solana, up 1% now. So there we go. Best performer over the last week has been Solana as well. That is up 7.1%. So that's the best performer. But Ethereum, not too far behind, up 5.9%. Durka, killing me, boss, is Brian, killing me. Yeah, Team America, World Police. Yeah, so good. I'm so lonely. Anyway, you can laugh at that. Whole movie made me laugh my head off. That was one of the best movies I've seen for a long time. I know it's quite dated. It's like a bit aged now, but it was certainly pretty funny. Durka, yeah. He's trying to be the greatest actor in the world. And he's trying to get into was it some sort of bar or something, which seemed odd, some sort of club or something, and he had to get past the terrace or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but and he sort of freezes it first, and then they said, "You can do it, Gary. You can do it," or something like that. And he goes, "Durka." Oh man, it was hilarious. It was so funny. Durka, yeah. All right, so let's get into it. We got what else we got? I'm losing track here. Let's go to the top 100. We got OKB right now up 66%. We Aave number 2 up 14%. Arbitrum number 3 there up 8.9%. Story IP there is number 4 up 7.5%, and Jitter there, Solana, I guess a 7.2% increase there. So yeah, that's the top 5 in the top 100. Looking at top 1,000 gainers, we've got Donkey, Neon, and Wayfinder. We looked at already Donkey and Wayfinder yesterday, so they're back in the top 1,000 again. We'll have a quick look at Neon because I don't think we looked at that one. That is sitting at number 869. Look at that chart. Woof. Up 80% there, and that is on Solana chain, and it's been around since. Let me go to the max chart. Fall for that trap again. It's been around since July 18, 2023. So what's it? 2 years, and it's come off the bottom really, 8 cents, and it's now at 18 cents. So nice little recovery there. It had been all the way back up here, well over a year and a half ago at $3.45. So, but over the last month, it's just taken off. So I may have some new news there, no doubt. Let's have a quick look at it's a Neon EVM, it says. So let's quickly look at this. Let me know in the chat if you've been on this one. Fast track to Solana, not a bridge, not a layer 2. Deploy EVM dApps on Solana with Neon EVM. No Rust, same tools. Tap Solana uses liquidity and speed. So it looks like it makes things a lot easier for people to get going. It's got a quick start button over there on the right. And we'll have a quick look at that. There we go. Some documents there. Some demos as well. Meme coin launched in Radium. So there we go. Maybe helping coders and stuff like that to do that. That is pretty much that. Let's jump back into the old crypto. And so that's basically where we are today. Trending, we've got Ethereum, Solana, and Hyperliquid all trending right now. All some of the big ones. And that is the market. So 4.033 trillion, down 1.3%. Bitcoin holding at 113,402. And Ethereum just below 4,800 right now and still slightly green. So not too bad in the in the move there. Now, obviously, we're expecting it to sort of wind up probably this week when we get in the stock market opening, tonight, and then of course heading towards that 5,500 mark, right, for Ethereum. That's kind of the next big push, which is really cool. In fact, I haven't brought up the strategic reserve, so let's pull it up just in case they have done a weekend update on that. Can't remember when they actually do their updates. No update on that one. So that is pretty much it. That's going to lead us into PulseChain. Let me know in the chat there if you got any other comments, or if you're feeling lonely, so lonely, like Jim on Kill, Kim Jong. Well, he's basically always offered his club, isn't he? Didn't know that. Apparently, he has a house. Got a big clubhouse, and they party there all the time. They have all the young girls turn up. That's the life of a dictator. Apparently, that's how he actually lives his life. So, yeah. How do I know that? You say, how do I know that? Well, one of the bodyguards of the place escaped, and he told all there, but paid a big price for it, of course. That is North Korea. Let us get into the PulseChain results, and bam, let's go. So we've got day 835. Can you believe it? So for those that are new to PulseChain, PulseChain was a full system stake fork or copy of Ethereum. So all the assets and contracts that were over on Ethereum got copied over to PulseChain, and that happened on the 10th of May 2023. Then a couple of days later, PulseChain launched on the 13th of May 2023, and now it's been 835 days since that time. And yeah, it's been a crazy ride. On the 31st of July 2023, the SEC took out a case against Richard Hart, the founder of PulseChain and Hex, and also against PulseX, which is the big DEX on PulseChain, and of course Hex, the big famous top 5 coin for the last bull market in 2021. And so took them to court. Even crypto took crypto to court, and they lost spectacularly as Richard Hart collected a dream team of lawyers. And then, of course, between the 31st July 2023 and the 7th of July this year, we had that dark cloud of the SEC over us. But then they were smashed down and defeated by Richard Hart and his lightning fork. So since that time, we're now in a new era of green candles and blue skies for PulseChain. Now, often after you have a big event like that, it can be 1 to 3 months before you actually see the chain really start to take off. So we're kind of in that transition zone, but we are definitely in a new era. So it's still time to scoop up. And of course, we got Richard Hart about to drop some pretty big marketing in the days and weeks ahead in the United States and around the world with millions of electronic devices with the LCD screen. So it's going to be pretty exciting. And you're here at the right time, right place. But the train is about to leave the station. And of course, as you guys know, we're going to be covering everything about PulseChain right now. So you're going to see what's happening amongst all the projects that are launching, because obviously PulseChain is a pretty incredible blockchain. So we got day 835 right now, and here's the price of Pulse, quadruple 0495, down 3.8%. We got PulseX at quadruple 0373, down 4% right now. The buy and burn slowly creeping up, and certainly being helped by the latest new project from cryptographics, Unity, and that's at 3.65% right now on the buy and burn. We got incentive token $1.86, down 3%, and it has actually the lowest amount of market cap. Like if we include the OA, it's got the lowest market cap. So we'll do the OA. Look at that, no change in market cap. Exclude the OA, big changes for everything else, right? The changes there. So yeah, we got some, still tiny market caps, excluding the OA accounts. So 832 million for Pulse, 733 million for PulseX, 101.05 billion for Pulse PX or Hex on PulseChain. We include the OA, all those numbers change dramatically, and suddenly we're up around maybe 15 to 20 grand, 15 to 18 billion there, so it is crazy. We got PHEX right now, or Hex on PulseChain, at 1.01 cents, down 5.8%. And we've got EHEX holding pretty steady at 0.2 of a penny. So EHEX has kind of been almost a stable coin. Is it EHEX to $1? EHEX to $1 there. Chop shoe, says Sean. We got Q Baller in house there. Morning all. Good to see Q Baller. Big shout out. What else? Let's keep going. And so that is our PulseChain results right now. Let's have a look. They've got the combined price of EHEX and PX at 1.21 cents. That's where we are. And let's go to the gas prices. We got the gas prices 737 beats. It's very low at the even compared to these days. We're sitting at 1 cent for a PulseX swap right now. Validators 52,231, pretty much the same. What we've had probably for the last 4 or 5 days. And then the bridge, let's have a look at that. Bridge right now 114 million. That is up just slightly from yesterday, if I remember rightly. Hopefully my memory is right there, but is it just up slightly or down slightly? Let me think about that. I think it's just up slightly. I think we're at 113.9 if I remember rightly yesterday. How were we about 15 days ago? Let's have a look at that. So 15 days ago, we're at 107.4 million, and now it's 114. So, we're up by 6.6, is it, something like that? And hopefully the math is right. We got a few others in the house there. We're also up, $800,000 in DAI. We've got 800,000 more DAI. USDC, we've got 1.9 million more USDC, which has been really great. And then, of course, the USD Tether, we've got another 600,000 USD Tether. So, we've got a lot more stable coins than we did 15 days ago. And presumably we've still got that big wallet that bridged all that money over $4 million or so the other day, still sitting on that money. So we're getting ready for a promotional marketing pump, God mode pump. Let's see. We'll find out. All right. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I haven't seen an update there. Let's jump into the Liberty Swap results okay. So if you guys are new, you're not familiar, or if you do know, Liberty Swap opened up Solana. Solana's not an EVM chain, right? So it's not as easy just to connect, like base chain and BSC chain, things like that. But we've got Solana there, which Rust, use Rust as opposed to Solidity for EVMs. And Solana there, they've set up a special mechanism for that. And in the first 36 hours, $70,900. This just came out just before the live stream, by the way. So this is only 40 minutes old, this news. So it's the latest and greatest. That's good. So we got almost 71,000 USDC bridge from Solana into PulseChain assets in just 36 hours. And so what does this mean? So they're looking to ramp up to 40 chains, right? This is Liberty Swap. And so that means they're opening up liquidity pools all over the place. All of the liquidity pools, obviously the top, 5 to 10 chains, and particularly important, and particularly non-EVM chains, right? So it's opening up all that money be able to come in PulseChain. And of course we have things like pump tires and lots of meme scene. Our meme scene's really growing, in that sense, and that is a big part of crypto. That's just the way it is. We have DeFi is a big part, we have GameFi is a big part, and many other categories out there as well. So it's really important. So we're going to have potentially a lot of people being able to come over a lot easier. What does it mean? Once we start getting some green candles, for example, go my candles, people follow green, more people from Solana will be able to easily come over. Oh really? I can't really come over. It's not really easy for me to come over. Oh, now you can. You just come over Liberty Swap bridge. So that's kind of the idea. And obviously some big players can move as well. So kind of cool. That's strong demand, and honestly, it makes me very optimistic for what's coming next. It's from Liberty Swap there. So that is hot off the press. So if you want to respond to them on that, I'll post the link to that one there in the chat, and you can go say, "Wow, that's awesome," or something like that, or you can say that 70,000 was mine. I wanted something like that. Okay. But that is kind of cool. So yeah, all gas free for bridging in. All the gas free. All the free gas for bridging in. So kind of cool. We got lots of cool stuff, comments in there. So that is some big news. Now, in terms of volume right now, let's have a look at PulseChain's volume. So we've got that 19.8 million. So definitely, I think yesterday we're sitting around 26, 27. So we're at 19.8, so 20 million, let's say. We've got 284,000 transactions. So it's on the lower end of what we normally see. Some of the top performers, now, as usual caveat every day, and that is, we have brand new coins pop up all the time. I don't get the chance to check them all out. A lot of them are just ones that have migrated from pump tires. over on Pump Tires. It is generally a wild casino. There's bots over there, all sorts of stuff. There are people playing the protocols. But then, of course, every so often there are real teams that launch on Pump Tires. So every so often, a real team will launch a real project through the Pump Tire mechanism over the PulseChain. Now, other tokens that will pop up here will people that are using token creation sites. So they're not using Pump Tires, token creation sites. They'll have proper projects or whatever projects they're going to have launched on PulseChain. And then, of course, we also get developers, right? Developers who can write their own Solidity code and set up their own contracts and launch those as well. So we get an array of different contracts launching. I don't get to check them all, of course. We do our best to catch up on all of them. That's pretty much it. So there we go. All right, so we got Atro there, Atropians, been around for 2 hours, up 2100% at number one. We've got Zcox there, or Zcock, been around for 2 days, and it's up 782%. We've got Brian. Hey, Brian. Brian from New York. No, just kidding. It's been around for 14 days. That's up 700% there. And a lot of these will just be pump tires, right? So a lot of these coins, generally speaking, just be pump tires. We got a peer-to-peer or Euro there, or EUR. It's a bit tricky. Up 60%. At number 4. Number 5 is Finger Monkey. It's been around for 12 days. It's been a pretty good performer as well, along with Brian. That's up 35%. We got Hero, Hero to Hero, or Zero to Hero. It's got here. Been around for 22 hours. So we've got quite a few new coins in the list today. Up 30%. We've got DevC, been around for 3 hours. Been around for a bit longer, isn't it? About 8 days. But it's sitting at number 7 and 9. That's up 17.88% there. So very different liquidity on those ones. We got Dump is up 8%. That's at number 8. So really not a lot of performers on the PulseChain right now, right? I mean, that's what we got there. We got a couple of new coins, one or two existing ones that have been around for a week or two, and we've got them over 10%, but really haven't got a lot on the leaderboard here. Some ones that are green, we've got 90mm green, so 7.5%. We've got Doge Pump Tires green at number 11 at 5%. Liberty been around for 2 months, up 3.6%. Rich been around for 2 days, up 3% almost. And Phoenix been around for 7 months, up 1.5%. And your mum that's been around, and that's up just over 0.5% there, along with Alamo. Number 17, we got Die Hard, slightly green, and your mum, obviously another peer there, also slightly green. So that's at 18. So not a lot of action there, which means that we're going to just pick out a few of the honourable mentions here that's slightly out of the money and that are not too far beyond break even there. We got it's got Unity here at $17.71. We'll probably pick that up actually because we're going to talk about Unity in a minute. We got Solana. We got Sol Sun Minimal. Now, Sol Sun Minimal had another update overnight, so I haven't got to watch that yet. But I'll let you know about that, especially in Strategy Club. That is down 1% right now, sitting at just under 44.1 cents. What else? We're going to go pick out a few of these others down here. Teddy Bear, incentive token. Let's just scroll back there. We've got BBC from 9inch is sitting here at number 38, down 3.6%. 9inch as well. So funny how they're both been together. It's been a couple of days we've seen that, isn't it? Where the incentive token for 9inch and 9inch itself are basically together. We've got Love.io there, down 3%. Solid X, of course, we're going to talk about that in a minute. So I should actually pull that up too, because we are going to talk about that as well. So let's pull that up over there. And PulseX down here is obviously we mentioned that. Pulsalium, the farm. Let me just scroll through a few of these. Top Hat, there's Surf Token as well from Crypto Paradise. Good pickup there, probably. Teddy Bear Takeover, down 5% down there as well. It's at number 68, is it? Hex, obviously down here around the 70s. We had Bri. Bri did a bit of a comeback in the old token there, so it was down to about 33. Did a bit of a 23% gain overnight, and then just a little bit of profit taking now, sitting at 3,800 there. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Obviously that's going to be relevant to Rack and Michelle. In fact, we might pull it up and talk about that with Rack and Michelle because we're going to talk about that in a minute. What else? Let's see if we've got everything here. You got Finvest all the way down here at number 86, down almost 8% at $7.67. Sparta, which was doing really well yesterday, is down 9.5% there at the moment. I'm not sure what Sean thinks about that, but it's obviously a cheaper entry there. And we got Peacock, which was also another shining star yesterday, dominating on the back of the Solana bridge. and maybe that's going to pump again on the news that the good amount of money is coming over the bridge pretty soon. Only just came out 40 minutes ago, but that's sitting at 9/10 of a penny there. So that is from Peacock, which is probably a good way of getting into some of the stuff we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to keep those charts up there, and let's get into Unity. So Unity right now, this is our main part of our show, really. PulseChain is simply unstoppable, multiple projects launching, and it's going to be pretty cool. Now, it's not meant to be exhaustive, but show you a few things you may not have seen before, if you may not have picked them up. So hopefully that will be insightful, and that's the point why you kind of watch YouTube influencers or anyone else that's talking about this stuff, so that keep up to date with stuff. So we got Unity right now, $17.71, and yeah, pretty impressive chart, right? It could go higher, a lot higher. So keep a lookout for that. That is where we are right now. Let's go to the Unity DApp. And this is, of course, launched by Cryptographics. We're going to quickly just go through the percentages, more of as a bit of a history. People can always come back to the show and see what they all were at the time. So this is the current return on investment for using, for making a creation right now. So still pretty amazing, right? 21,000%. And let's go to the staking right now. Staking there, that's the staking yield. And I'm just flicking it to daily just in case people do come back and have a look. You just never know. People do sometimes. So let's go to the burn. The burn right now, all that money in the burn there. Pulse and PulseX, right, getting captured as people put it in there in the buy and burn. And only 1%, set at 1% of the balance right now going into support the Unity price. Of course, Unity price doesn't look like it needs a lot of support, does it? Let's keep going up there. But that is helping push the price up. The buy and build there, fattening up the liquidity as well. So, it's helping to fatten up this liquidity here, which is kind of cool. 345K right now. And so those are some of the numbers that we've got. And then the fractal, of course, got a lot in there too. So a lot of money in there right now. We're not going to add it up every day. I could do that every day, but I'm not going to add it up every day. You can add it up there. There we go. It's all the prices are there. We got Unity is a powerful protocol. It is, and you're absolutely right about that. All right. So that's where Unity is right now. And of course, Unity just launched, right? So we had Better Bank launch, and that did a 21 million TVL within like 12 days. That was on PulseChain. That's for the month of August. And we had Unity launch, which is also be another big protocol, and it's doing amazing. Burning PulseX like you wouldn't believe. Burning PulseX like you wouldn't believe. Current Unity payout pool is 1.76 million, and that is based on the current day 7 payout, which is a 99,520 times the price, which is $17.71. Really, really impressive price, right? I mean, look at that chart. Hey. A lot of PulseChain is down, not performing too hot right now. Good accumulation zone, of course, but Unity is on fire. He's on fire. All right, so total liquid supply, currently 2,942, so not a lot of supply around. But let's get into the main results here. We've got 18,544 tokens at the moment after 6 days, and how many hours? 6 hours, 6.5 hours. And we have only 18,500 tokens. We start off at 20,000, remember? We got Burn Unity, 1,456. That continues to go up every day, right? Because we've got the buy and burn operating, right? That buy and burn here, 1% of this balance, right? And that's what else we got going. We got the stake Unity, almost 6,000. So staking's gone up. Has that gone up about 300 from yesterday? I think we were at 5,600 or so. Just about 5,600, and we're at almost 6,000. So I think that's definitely gone up. That's a good sign, right? So not only do we have the buy and burn helping push this up, we also have people staking as well. And not much of that would be coming out from stakes. Not many people are doing a couple of days stakes. You're normally doing 25 or more days is typically what we're seeing. So pretty awesome. And of course, here's the main event. So we got this big reward every day, right? How much share do you get? Well, when you make creations, right? When you come here and you make a creation or you make a stake, you get shares, right? Either way, you get shares, and that shares gives you a share of the reward pool every day. And we can see the total amount of shares is 1.63 billion. So whatever shares you've got is a share of that proportional share, and that's what would give you a share of this reward here up here, pretty much. All right. So and you don't get it every day, like it accumulates in the contract for you. You only get the access to those tokens at the end when it matures, maybe in 88 days or whatever your term you've sent. PulseX at the moment, 1.36 billion. That is our PulseX there right now. Pretty awesome. We got an analytical dashboard as well. So the burn is burn, baby, burn the old PulseX. 72 times faster than the PulseX buy and burn, apparently. So it's kind of cool. Now, this is the chart here showing all the future creations and stakes coming out. So that's when they mature and the tokens that they'll be getting. And of course, as we move forward in time, we're only on day 7, for goodness sake. We're going to have lots of more people come in, and that means that this is going to flatten out a lot of these curves, right? A lot of these towers will get flattened out because of the more people coming in, generally speaking. And that is what it looks like on a log chart. And we know that really we're not going to get our first sort of challenge to the supply until day 23. We jump all the way from 100 coming out in a day to our first sort of 1,000 day. In that case, we got about 1,600 coming out on day 23. And we're on day 7 now, so you can just deduct that off, and that means about 16 days to go. And if that's 16 days to go and there's not much supply coming out, what heck's going to happen to the start over the next 16 days? That's the question. You got the buy and burn operating and staking and stuff. So let's see where it goes. See where it goes. All right. So that is kind of cool on there. And what else? Then the next big jump is really not. We don't start really jumping into the 30s, right? We start to get up there, a couple of 3,000 days and stuff. And then we jump big time day 34. So, day 23, day 34, we got some pretty big step jumps there. We got 10,500 by day 34 and so on. And then we keep ticking along here until we sort of get to day 60. And then we got our next sort of big jump at the moment. But it's only on day 7. We got lots of people coming in yet. So what are they going to do? Where are they going to mature their creations and stakes? So, it's early days still. So that is pretty much Unity, and that is, along with Betterbank, the two big protocols that launched on PulseChain this month. Now, that leads us into the projects that are coming out, right? Now, you guys know we've talked about Rack and Michelle plenty of times. He's launching at least 5 projects that we can see, not all together, as we understand it. But Coinwell looks like it's coming out first. And it is going to be pretty exciting to see it launch, right? So this is going to be a very blue chip kind of environment. Don't think a lot of DeFi ethos. He's a professional guy, likes to, do things professionally, and we like that too. We definitely need, a premium blue chip offering in a PulseChain, and more than one. We can all appreciate that. There's plenty of pump tires out there. There's plenty of DGM projects out there, so we've got plenty of DeFi stuff to muck around with, but we do need some high quality blue chip platforms that people can use. And of course, he has access to a lot of wealthy clients, potentially into Saudi Arabia, into the United States, and of course, maybe even to the White House. He's kind of teased that with pictures of Donald Trump Jr. and the White House. So let's see where all this might lead. We will find out. And of course, it's exciting times there. Now, of course, Rack and Michelle with number 1 PulseChain and PulseX Sacrificer running the consortium there for number 1 spot. And he's got some potential slogans for Coinwell, where crypto is done well, and your coin's done well. So he's just seeking a lot of little catchphrases there. We've got lots of replies, including from his new wife, Mr. Rack and Michelle, with the old Z there, I like that. And let's see what people come up with. But that is Coinwell. That's coming up. Now, we're excited about that. Now, as I understand, it's going to have lending and swapping and all sorts of stuff in there. And everyone wants to get their coin on there. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes too. So that is coming up, and that is about it was 27 days. So I think it's coming up on the 13th of September, around that sort of target. So that means we've still got less than 3 weeks, so about 19 days, something like that, 90 days from now, for Coinwell, and it could be pretty exciting. Now, I don't think there's anything on the website. I think it's just a dead site right now. Yep, this dead site for them, pretty much solutions for a smarter future. So we'll be looking forward to that. And of course, he's got 5 other sites as well. So we're talking about 4 other sites at least that we're aware of. So that's 5 sites, and we're probably going to do a special live show on that. We're going to deep dive into that as much as we can. It's not there's enough to be able to talk about it, I guess, but not enough to really get huge more. But he's posted lots of different little teasers out there, and I really do like the branding. Very, very professional. We need that on the Pulse chain. So that's kind of cool. Now, he's talked about, of course, the Briar meme coin. This is his wife's dog, and it's called Bria. Actually, Bria. I keep saying Briar, but it's got spelled with an I. But Bria. And this is obviously chart not looking too good, but he wants to make this the #1 meme coin on PulseChain. So that is his, and he's going to be putting into his protocols, right? So like CoinWell. So we're going to see what will happen to this chart. Will it get a second life? Will it become the #1 meme coin? Certainly, if he's going to buy up a lot of supply, he can do it now. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But that is the play right now on the old Bria token there. And it's kind of a whale strategy, right? You're back in the whales, support for it, and he's going to use it on his protocols. So we could keep a lookout for that. So that is kind of where we are right now. We did have a little bump in that chart over the last few hours, have we? I think we have. We had a little bump off the bottom there. So we actually got down all the way down to 000316. And I think most of this, quite a bit of selling's been some of the big whale, the early holders. And there's bots running on the chart as well. So there's a little bit of that. And then we had a bit of a nice little relief there and back down. So when is the waterfall finish? That's the question you ask. Well, we're going to find out. The RSI on the daily, let's have a quick look at that. Look at the daily RSI. Yeah, only just printed. It's still at 49. I probably won't be too much interested in that. Probably the 4-hour chart there, probably more interesting. And that is currently at 39 right now. So, we've got the old time frame. This is when CoinWell, 13th, 12th September there. So the yellow line was a post that Rack and Michelle put out for 27 days. And we're well on our way to that, right? So 27 days. So let me just go back to the daily chart here so we can see that time frame and how many days we got. I guess we got, if he holds that 27 days, then we got 18 days to go. So that is pretty much it. So that's coming. And so lending, swapping, and all sorts of stuff on that site. And he's got another 4 sites. And let's will Bria become the #1 meme coin on PulseChain. We shall see. It is the whale strategy, as we say. Talk about whale strategies. We've already covered this before, but that is SolidX. The SolidX is obviously Firewell, and he's launching a big, huge, decentralized crypto casino. It's going to be multi-chain, as we understand it. It's going to have at least 3 or 4 games to kick it off, and particularly X game, which will be a crash game. And we're big supporters of that, of course. And it's also going to be going on at least 3 or 4 chains, as we understand it, almost straight out of the gate. And one of those, I think, will be base chain, which will be big. We're expecting big marketing, and of course, even from the founder of Base Chain. And so we could see some big adoption there, as well as influences on other chains. So we're going to keep a lookout for that. Also, big marketing, and we're also going to see SolidX staking as one of the feature coming up as well. So SolidX could get into huge demand, and we have seen some big targets from Firewell. We have, pretty optimistic where he will take it. He's obviously one of the other big whales on PulseChain, and we look forward to his, his ecosystem and vision play out. Now, apparently, he owns casinos, and this will actually have a professional casino license. That was what has been applied for. Whether they received it or not by now, we don't know, but presumably they have, because he said that they will be launching within 4 or 5 weeks ago, and that was last week. So this is another September, probably late September launch coming up for old SolidX, and this is going to be one of the big plays, I think. And the videos, the games look really good. They're really enticing visually, and that's very important. So we could have that plus a big marketing budget. So we may not have seen that before. So a big marketing budget could be very powerful as well. We'll see how that's utilized. Obviously, some things are far more effective than others, and hopefully people have had enough years by now to work out what really works. So that's kind of cool. Also going to have a big 30% referral bonus. So, hey, this could be the first killer app on PulseChain. The virality of this could be massive, and if big influencers come in, it could be pretty huge. So instead of margin trading, shilling the old margin trading, which we know is generally rigged on exchanges because they dump, we saw that several days in a row now from Binance, dumping the Ethereum on their own long positions that their retail book sets up and institutions, and wrecking a lot of people. So hopefully that gets hopefully the central agencies catch up with that sooner or later. But that is pretty exciting. Now, at the moment, of course, SolidX, you can actually use their Telegram trading bot, and people are using it very successfully. And it's apparently very, very good. So you can check that as well. And we have talked about that before. But that is SolidX. So another big one, another whale strategy, as I call it. We've got two big whale strategies there, Rack and Rochelle and Firewhale. So we look forward to their projects. At the moment, you can get a pretty good entry on the old SolidX, $11.74. You can also buy some of the pump tires. There's obviously a X game, which will probably be doing pretty well since it's the name of this decentralized casino, and of course the first game is going to be Crash Game, X game Crash Game. So that could be pretty awesome. And then, of course, there's the Firewhale token and the other SolidX pump tires. There's 3 pump tires in the official SolidX. Now, SolidX is the only one that's going to get the buy and burn impact from all those players playing the decentralized crypto casino. And, of course, that's going to have staking as well, and other things are coming. So this is the price right now, $11.70. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. But obviously, that would be a whale strategy that people can consider going here. Now, obviously, do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. Now, we got another potential launch in September, which you guys know we've covered briefly before as well, which is from Jacob, arguably the world's best peer-to-peer dev, in my view, or at least one of the best for sure. And he's been building out Mafia. He loves his complex games, right? Complex games. In other words, they have dozens and dozens and dozens of smart contracts. We don't often see that sort of complexity around, and so he's right on the frontier of that sort of thing. So we've got on-chain bet that's expected to launch in September. Probably late September is the usual play there. I don't know exactly his time frame, but they've got a countdown somewhere, I think. This is coming up. And this is going to be multi-chain as well. Multi-chain, it's going to be using different technology in a sense. They're going to be using CCIP to connect contracts. So they're going to have an on-ramp. They're going to have a bridge. They're going to have, obviously, the token here. They're going to have liquidity. They're going to have an affiliate program as well. Very important, as you know, especially for casinos, just like SolidX is having. And they're going to affiliate there and also rewards. So it's pretty interesting. At the moment, of course, people are able to take their Pulse their Pulse Bitcoin, their Pulse pot and their BNB pot tokens, and cash them in for the claim. So you can do token claim there, and you can you can send, I think you convert your address, send your tokens, only send accepted tokens. You can send your tokens to the address and convert them. And so far, I'm pleased to report that almost 50% of tokens have been converted. So that's very exciting. Now, if you miss the deadline for this, then you will still be able to qualify for at least a year or something after that, but you'll get a much worse rate. So just take that note. But I'm very glad to see the number is around 50%, because imagine if it was only 10%, that'd be a bit unfair. I know it's people's responsibility to keep up to speed and all that, but it would be arguably pretty unfair there, I think. So then now it's at the 50%. I'm pretty happy with that level. And other people are late. Well, that's their problem, right? They've still got time now, but that is the play right now. So it's on-chain bet coming up from Jacob. We're looking forward to it. And hey, look, we may get Mafia launching not too long after that. Could be pretty similar, maybe in November. I don't know. Mafia can't be too far away from that point of view. So we've got a whole month there, maybe the end of September. And then, of course, we're talking about PUSD ALGO. Possibly, arguably, if they get a solution, pricing solution, then we could see that launch, this side of the year. Imagine that. That'd shock everybody. But that would be, I don't see any reason for them holding it back. We could have them launching November, December. Now, the question is, how integrated will all these protocols be together? Because they do, support each other in many ways. We'll see. Multi-chain environment, of course, all feeding into PulseChain ultimately. Could be pretty awesome. So, just like SolidX, multi-chain environment feeding back into PulseChain, all roads lead to PulseChain. What we see at Liberty Swap, 40 chains onto PulseChain. All these protocols are really cool because they're leading on PulseChain. What we see with the Coinwell from Rackham, all capital coming onto PulseChain. It's exciting to see. So these things are all helping to make PulseChain unstoppable, and just many of the fundamentals on PulseChain, pretty exciting. So we look forward to it, and obviously the games are going to really matter. The game's going to be pretty enticing. We look forward to all that coming, but apparently it's going to be pretty big. So that's just a little teaser right now. We'll obviously delve more into on-chain bet as it comes closer, and we get more blues clues about what's going on. So yeah, exciting about that. Now, the one thing I would say about Jacob is just getting timing done right. Obviously, I think he's aware of the market cycle because he's moved the Mafia roadmap and forward, which is great. And then secondly, being on target for on-chain bet launching in September would be very, very good. And then, of course, just communicating. Communication is very important. So that's something he has to, in my view, has to work on there is the communicating around his projects. So that's kind of the play. It's true for a lot of devs out there. They need to, lift their game on communication. I think we can all agree on that. Doesn't mean you have to tell, you can just say, hey, look, we're not ready to launch yet, but here's, some of the things we're kind of moving on. Just generally speaking, you can just give people some basic communication. All right, so that's on-chain bet right now, and that leads us into the next one, right? Sigma protocol, right? So Sigma is awesome. That's coming down the line there. This is Alex McFerder. Yeah, Alex McFerder, one of the I think one of the most loved devs on PulseChain, and he's did Icosa and Hedron, and he's been away working pretty hard. Now, obviously, when Richard Hart came down on good old EHEX back in the day, it sort of shook the second layer protocols, particularly the dip catchers and the Alex McFerders of the world, which were already working on 2.0 for Hedron Icosa, and obviously all the Maximus products and all the derivatives there, which some of them probably quite underpriced right now, like the Decky token and things like that. But it's these guys have come back better, So now we've seen Dipcatcher come back on EHEX on the with his own sort of second layer ecosystem with a FlexNet there, and we saw that, and he's still pushing that through. And of course, then we also had Sigma coming out just recently, just last couple of days, and we're going to wait to find out more about that. But that's going to be pretty exciting from Alex McFerder. We always know that the stuff he does is quality, and so we're looking forward to that. But that's Sigma. That's coming down the line. We're going to find out what it's all about. But from the Alex McFerder, creator of Hedron and Icosa, of course, which has been great for Hex stakers. All right, we've got a question here from CN. What about PUSD? Any news? Yeah, so I did an update with Wookie actually the other day. We had a whole full show, and we covered Unity and Taurus, and then we had a bonus topic of PUSD ALGO. We went through everything, just about it, probably with one thing we didn't say on there, but because it was part of a private conversation. But apart from that, PUSD ALGO. We may see it launched in December potentially. Or certainly, from my view, if we get $15,000 ETH, then it's going to have the collateral that it would probably need to get established, which I would say is over $500,000. And then, of course, you put it into LP pools for range V3 or whatever, and you can get that to $1 million. I think that's enough to get it going. It does have to have multiple peers, and of course, the bulk of that would be in the stablecoin print, arguably. Yeah, but then once the protocol launches, people put the liquidity in, right? And so it all starts kicking into gear from there. So the question is, what do they do? They need a couple of things, right? So they need the asset collateral backing. So I think it's a function of the ETH price. But I think, man, they could launch. That if we get the 15K by December, and they've got all the protocol built out, which is I don't really see any reason why they wouldn't have. They've had a team running on it since January. I know they're doing some structural alignment. So this is the latest news we got from Cold DeFi was that they were changing, aligning to the Genius Act. So I'm not quite sure what that will mean. We speculate on stable coins or repos and cash and stuff like that. I just don't know where they're going to take that. And of course, they're a team based in Europe as well. The other thing is they also said there's going to be new tech for it, new tech. So yeah, what will that all mean as well? It could be a big player. Now, obviously, PulseChain can run on all the themes that Ethereum is. It just needs the people to be able to, have the right connections and be able to execute to make parallels to Ethereum. Like the strategic ETH reserve, we could have strategic Pulse reserves, right? And we obviously got the PulseChain sacrifice, but we could actually, start to set up some of that narrative. If it's going to be a 10-year narrative for Ethereum, then why can't we have a 10-year narrative on PulseChain too? because there really is a full system state copyright. So it's going to take the right people to do that, and maybe some of the Americans, some of the Europeans potentially could do that. Maybe it's someone else somewhere else, who knows? But it's definitely an opportunity there. And along with that is the stable coins will be part of that big boom. And we know that the PUSD algo could play its own in its own lane. But if it managed to, get into the scalability solution, which we don't have on PulseChain, so to speak, we have all these liquidity forks, but in the Fiat Coast, but we don't have algorithmic stablecoin and solving this scalability issue. But if they're going to merge that with, the Genius Act and the stablecoin boom, man, it could be a surprise to the upside, and therefore even be even better for PSD Algo. You just got to be a bit more patient. So that's kind of where we are. So yeah, get ETH up. Let's say this at least 8K. That would get us up to $500,000. We get up to 15K. We're probably even, at I think $1 million alone. So that would, if you double that up, be $2 million in the pool. So I think that we're not far away from the collateral side of it. Second part is the pricing. We need an Oracle, right? Fetch is inadequate apparently because it's a Tether fork, and we've got Signum and Tetra, delayed still. I mean, it's getting close apparently. But once Tetra launches, how long's Signum going to actually be after that? Is it really ready to go within days or a week? And of course, that is what PUSD was going to use. Now, there are apparently other solutions out there, so we'll keep a lookout. Let's see what happens there with the magic source. That's all I'll say there. And you never know, when the magic bell rings, maybe something special is happening out there regarding price calls for the PUSD algo. We'll see. It'll be a bit interesting. It's all about deadline. Now, the question is, how integrated is it going to be with the rest of the stuff? That's the other thing. And, of course, third-party protocols as well. So that is some of the insights I have for you. And, of course, we're looking forward to some updates around that. So just some basic updates would be enough. But we'll see how we go there. We're getting them in the back channels right now. The back channel. So that is Signum from Alex McFedder. And we just did some extra stuff there on Jacob stuff around on-chain bet, Mafia, and PUSD algo. PUSD algo, of course, I think is the juggernaut there. I think that really is the flagship protocol. So looking forward to that. All right, so let's jump into the next one. And this is where we're going to start getting into some real expansion of what protocol's coming up. OMG. If you think it's raining with some of these big projects that we're talking about already for September, what is coming up in September, October, November, December, January, February? I mean, it could be huge. So let's get onto it, folks. These are some of the teasers out there. And this, like I said, is not supposed to be a comprehensive list. There's just some of the teasers we get out there. But Fast Abdul, as you guys know, he launched the 4th liquidity fork on PulseChain, which I understand is the 5th biggest one on the planet. And he says, here are 7 things I'm building with 4 different dev teams. Can you believe it? He says 5 upgrades on the way, 1 launching soon and 1 not yet announced. The last one will blow your mind. So we've got some more stuff coming from Fast Abdul and his team. So 1 not yet announced, and the last one will blow your mind. So something completely new from the looks of it is coming on there, and they've got a new project launching soon. And he's got a little screen here with some ink printers here. And so let's see what happens here. They got some crowns and stuff like that. So we've got some cool stuff happening with this little teaser. So I thought I'd bring that up to play. And so we've got lots of things. The Brazil shares the bribery logo looks freaking sick. So so bullish. So a lot of people are excited there. Now, Incinerator was the one I was talking to you about. Obviously, he's got Ink Printer out, and that has 2 tokens. Has got Print Token and Ink Dollar. So Ink Dollar is the stable version, just like we see with the other liquidity forks has their own tokens, and it uses INC, right? Uses INC. But now we've got Win Soon Incinerator tokens. So it's going to be interesting to see where this all leads. So lots of stuff happening there coming up from Fast Abdul's teams, and 4 teams in there. So that's kind of cool. So I think, like I said, I think we're going to be seeing in multiple projects and a real explosion happening on the old PulseChain. So I'll get excited. Now so he's talking about all these different upgrades and new projects coming. We also have Liberty Swap teased this the other day. Now, I don't know how many, 12,000 people looked at this, but this is actually pretty insightful little post here. And as I talked to you about Betterbank, that this launched in August with a modified Aave fork. And of course, this took in PDI, took in Pulse and PulseX. And of course, we had Unity launch after that, taking Pulse and PulseX too. So we had two protocols there utilizing PulseX and Pulse, and pretty awesome stuff, right? So, and of course, expanding our stable coins as well. Like, or at least lending, I should say, on that. So, Bitterbank's been amazing, and then we of course have got Liberty Swap coming out here, saying we're about to see a wave of stablecoin protocols. Now, obviously, we talked about PUSD algo. Of course, we're a big fan of that, and it is a unique species, right? Because we've got the fiat-backed one, we've got the liquidity forks, but we don't have anything to solve the third part of the trilemma, the scalability. And of course, whoever cracks that nut is going to be, a real winner. And PUSD algo has a special, minor bots that operate. That's the secret sauce there, and no humans involved. We're about to see a wave of stablecoin protocols backed with deep liquidity, thanks to Bitterbank. So Bitterbank obviously looking to do more stuff there. Now we know Nikki is one of the two front men there for Bitterbank, and of course they're linked into the XUSD team, right? Which has got their own volatile stablecoin XUSD, right? And they've got a whole ton of trading incentives, trading pools to make that happen. And of course, they're still miles away from that at this stage. But of course, PulseChain's not really, on the pump yet. So we'll still have this, open question and watch that. They still have probably a lot of firepower left in terms of capital, and of course, a lot of protocols coming down there. So there's lots of different, little tentacles playing out there. But back with deep liquidity, thanks to Bitterbank. Obviously, Bitterbank there with 21 million TVL already, and more stable coins coming. So we're going to see quite a cool wave there, back with deep liquidity thanks to Bitterbank. So we can see more scaling, no doubt, and more stable coins happening there. And of course, hopefully we'll get more circulation. But that's where I think PUSD algo has the advantage. And so that's where I think we might get a lot more circulation and multiplier impacts from money circulating wide. So that's why I think PUSD algo has a very big role to play. And if it's going to be aligned to the Genius Act, that's even better because it's got that mega theme on top of it. It's but like the icing on the cake. Now there's a new balancer fork coming. Now, as you guys know, at the moment, as far as I know, the only balancer fork we have is from the PH Universe team. And of course, they launched these ages ago. If you guys remember, the next 4 protocols. They had their own Aave fork. They had the balancer fork, etc. So balancer forks, as we know, they offer, how in PulseX V2, we have, X times Y equals K formula. It's kind of got this, if you have an X and Y axis, has this little curve, and it's kind of, as, price goes up at a square, down at a square, or everyone's kind of used to that. Yeah, we've got the native balancer exists too. Yeah. No one talks about it though, but we definitely got that there. Well, thanks, Frank. And so, we've got what I was going to say, but with balancer, they give us a more of a straight line. If you take X and Y axis on the old maths chart, that's like more of a straight line, and it's fantastic for stable coins, right? Because it's far more efficient, swapping between stable coins. Now, obviously, Richard launched that trifecta, liquidity pool on PulseX as DAI, USDC, USDT, and of course that makes swapping between stable coins a lot more efficient. But of course, this has a mathematical formula. There's just a straight line, more of a straight line than a curve, there. And so, another balancer fork coming. Also has lots of pools, and we know how successful this did with the PHUX, called PHUX, I think it was. And they ended up, I think, at the top. Back in the day, they had like 34 million or something like that, or somewhere up there in TVL, total value, locked in there. I think it was something that high. I'm pretty sure it was that high. But that's interesting now. So a new balance fork coming, and multiple liquidity forks. So more liquidity forks. So we've got 4 liquidity forks at the moment, and of course there's about 35 in the world, as I understand it, and we've got pretty much 4 of the top 10. So we've got more liquidity forks coming. Okay, if we've got all our liquidity forks using PulseX, Inc., and Hex, what are these liquidity forks going to be using? Are they going to be using Wrap Bitcoin, PDI, and other tokens? Is that the ramification there? So keep a lookout for that. So we might have some more of the fork tokens. So imagine that's what you mean by native balancer exists, is the forked version there, Frank. I'm interpreting interpretive dance, Frank. Interpretive dance. So that is the play there. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this all plays out. So Liberty Swap seems to have a lot of know in there. So who is Liberty Swap? How come they know these things? And 1 minute they got no money, next minute they've got red, they got a blue ticker. So who's bankrolling Liberty Swap? That's the question. Let us know in the chat there. They seem to know a lot about XUSD, which means are these guys all together? These guys all integrated? You guys decide. What back channels are there to Richard? We know that Rack Michelle seems to have a back channel, probably through RG3 and stuff like that. So who else is connected into there? Which strings is Richard pulling? What's who's the puppet master? The puppet master there. What's going on, right? So you're going to pick all this stuff together. So yeah, pretty crazy out there right now. What else we got? We got no balance exists from ETH, says Frank White. Tide is coming, says Frank White there. Okay, cool. I tell them a lot, says Frank White. Very, very nice. All right, so yeah, Tide is coming. That's from Coast, right? That's from Coast. Yeah, Tide is coming from Coast, so that's Coast. Yeah, like I said, it's not meant to be comprehensive, a list of every project. There's I know other projects coming, but that is definitely, we've got some big juggernauts launching. So it's not going to be, we're not going to be bored on PulseChain. We're going to have one big protocol after another, and this is just a bit of a teaser about some of these little comments that people are making about all the projects that could be launching out there that people are working on. So it's going to be fun times, And if you add in all the pump mentors on PulseChain, well, it's game on, isn't it? It's going to be so good here in PulseChain. So right now, Liberty Swap, of course, has been benefiting a lot as well with the old price there. So price has been performing pretty well, holding up, pretty nicely there. And yeah, we'll see where it all goes from here. So there's a lot of confidence in this chart, isn't there, around Peacock and Liberty Swap. So they keep delivering, and I'm sure this chart will keep going up to the right. Interesting times. Now, we're going to finish with the PLS start chart. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. This is Frank White's. And yeah, it's got a lot of the protocols on there, and a lot of teams are hitting them up these days. So it really has become the platform of the PulseChain. And if you want to find out all the projects there's definitely more being added all the time here, which is pretty cool. And I guess some of the tricky stuff is always deciding where does the actual project list, what category is the project actually in, because some of these projects cover multiple categories, and therefore they're more like ecosystems. So yeah, good luck with that, Frank. Good luck with that. And it looks like he's done a pretty good job though so far. And look at that, pretty awesome there. He's also got sponsors. What happened to your sponsor? I thought you had a sponsor. Yeah, he's got page sponsors. There it is. Got all the page sponsors, so you can check out all these teams. In fact, we cover quite a few of these things. Function Island. Who else in here? Emmett Farms, Nexian. We cover them. Radon, Greed. We cover those. So we're big supporters of those guys. Who else is jumping on here? Hey, we've got community chats. We've got Kryptonite Show in there. If you haven't joined up, of course, join up today. That's pretty cool. Who else is in there? DeFi Prince Royal Lounge. They do some great work, so big shout out to them as well. As we said, the Kryptonite Show team, along with the MBS Crypto, our promotional lead and editor of the Monster Thread, we do a lot of promotional work for the small medium groups, right? It's easy for the big guys to get good coverage, but for the small medium guys, it's very difficult to get coverage. So that's what we do, providing professional service at really good rates there. So if you want to check us out, hit us up. And then the other part, of course, is you got other cool DeFi, people helping a lot of teams like Vox and stuff like that, like DeFi Prince and that. They're doing a great job. So big shout out to that team. We really do really like that support of the community. We need good stuff. So we need professional stuff on PulseChain. If everyone thinks that we can operate as the Wild West, that's not the truth, right? It's not the truth. So we need more professional stuff on the chain, and that is going to be awesome. When we get more and more people going, they can't just, us DGNs and DeFi people out there, we're used to it, but they're not used to it, right? So they need to have proper protocols and things that they can trust and get promoted. So it's going to be pretty cool. Let me post that in the chat there so you guys can check it out. Bam, that is PulseChain ecosystem there by Frank White. Appreciate the overview, and you're most welcome there, Frank. You guys help me a lot, says Frank. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, look, we aim to help with promotions on the Kryptonite Show. It really is needed on PulseChain. And you see some people out there go, oh, no one needs marketing and promotions. Well, that's completely wrong. So just let note that if people don't hear about your project, they can't see it, right? They can't see it. So they need people to help promote it and get it out there. So it's just the way it goes. All right. What else? That's it. So there's the link there to Peter Start Me, and check it out today. All right, so that is pretty much it. Look at that sign. It doesn't look great, that roadmap. Doesn't look great. You've done a great job there, Frank. and I know people are really enjoying that. So save it to your favorites, and then you can just jump on these links. Once again, like anything, just always confirm everything yourself. But it really is a wonderful site there, and Frank does a great job. So there we go. On that note, you never know. Richard Hart, he can drop in at any time and drop a good old gold mode candle on the old PulseChain. We've got millions of dollars sitting on the chain, of course, recently. And who knows what that might be used for coming up.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
That's true. So exciting times ahead. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're probably going to leave it there now, I think. Have I got my Superman thing going? Not quite there today. Sometimes it naturally drops into that Superman curl because I got the perfect, curl, head cowlick, whatever you call it. But not today. Not today. It's not there today. Probably need to get the haircut right from a better hairdresser. Who knows? Hope you guys enjoyed it, though. Like that, just a bit of a taster of some of the big stuff coming. And we've had a lot of allusions to other things coming. And we might do even a bigger show on even more projects coming up. We'll make a big fine list, but I just wanted to get into that out there for some of those and some of those comments that people may not have seen. And it's like, whoa, really? Is that many projects you guys are working on? That many stuff? A whole ton of more liquidy forks? OMG. That sort of stuff. So it's coming down the line. It's pretty exciting. So PulseChain, not going anywhere. PulseChain is unstoppable. And it's going to be good times. Now, projects launching are just one of the many fundamentals on PulseChain. Obviously, we talk about a lot of others in other live streams shows as well. On that note, we've got the next monster thread coming up. When's it coming out? Later today, guys. Monster thread number 16. Week 16, guys, is coming out later today. MVS Crypto is working hard on that as we speak. The editor-in-chief and our promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show. And it is going to be absolutely exciting because it's just showcasing the bullishness that's coming into PulseChain. It really is amazing. So look forward to the Monster Weekly News. And, of course, it is coming out hot today, week number 16. Can you believe it? I'm looking forward to the day where we can say it's week number 25 and it's week number 50 because that's coming up in the future as well. And as you guys know, we've been breaking records with the old Monster thread there. It is crazy. The last monster thread, week number 14, we had 47,000 views. And so, we expected to go ups and downs every week. But we had 6 weeks of growth in a row. And look, we're excited about where PulseChain's going. We're not even in the bull market for PulseChain really yet. We're still in that final little accumulation phase. Promotion's about to start. Things are really about to ramp up. How many views will we have in the future? 100,000, 150,000. Who knows? It's going to be pretty exciting. 200,000. It could be even crazier. So look forward to it, folks. It's going to be really amazing. People are busy out there. If you're really busy, you need to catch up. The Monster thread is perfect, and because you get to see everything that happened over last week, it really does cover everything that we can see on the old PulseChain. And of course, if you want to onboard people, it's the perfect thing for get people up to speed to say, hey, look, this is how organized our community is. This is all the cool thing that people are doing, all the cool DeFi projects. There's some of the hottest things happening. It is really great to get into the Monster thread. So take care, everybody. And I will catch you again on tomorrow's show. And for that, I'm going to say bye-bye. Bye-bye. So lonely, King Jump Hill is so lonely. Partying on at the party house. Anyway, all right, take care, everybody. Bye for now.